Welcome along to Inside The Hive. It's the final show of the season. It's great to have you here with us, and we've got a cracker to finish it on a high. We've got Hassane Kamara talking to us, of course, player of the season. We're going to hear more about our new head coach, Rob Edwards. We're going to find out some more about the Roeder race day, which is coming up very soon. We've got a 60-second challenge, the final one of the season. Will Megan Chandler retain the top spot? We'll find out. We're going to have a look at the women's goal of the season, plus add our final player into the Watford Greatest 11. Of course, we know by now I can't do this show on my own. And first of all, we're joined by the legend that is Mr. Tommy Mooney. Tommy, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
Good. Relieved it's the last one?
Yeah.
How's your golf been this week? I always ask you about that. It'd be rude of me not to ask
Played
you.
okay tomorrow, and then yesterday.
Played okay tomorrow?
And I'm going to play better tomorrow because I'm playing with Robbo tomorrow. So
nice.
Take a pint of Guinness off him.
Why not? Well, we're lucky to have not one but two legends with us in the studio tonight. And our other guest is a goalkeeping legend, and it's the one, the only, Alec Chamberlain. Alec, how are you doing?
Very good, Michael. Yeah, I'm disappointed I haven't got an invite to the golf tomorrow.
What's going on, Tom? That's going to be awkward now for the next hour.
It's not awkward. We're 10:20, Al.
Okay, I'll try and get up there, yeah. No problem. The Guinness definitely interests me.
Look, pleasure to have you with us tonight. Let's just get stuck straight into your memories and your time here, because there's lots of things we can talk about. But first of all, Watford still got a real special place in your heart?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I obviously played here, you know, coached here as well, but it's the longest spell I ever had at a club. Most successful period of my career in terms of, you know, the promotions we had, the player of the years and stuff like that. So, of course, you know, and my children grew up watching Watford and they're still Watford fans. So, you know, it means a great deal to me and the family.
Of course, teammates with that gentleman over there as well.
Yeah, obviously I met a lot of great people here, and Tommy's one of them. You know, he was a big part of what we were doing with Graham Taylor at that time. You know, we were talking about teams and building teams, and that's what GT was so good at. And he built a team, you know, full of players that had, you know, he pulled us all together really, and then and just had that knack of putting a round peg in a round hole, and it all came good.
Tommy, of course, your job was to put the goals in the back of the net, but you obviously need a good, strong defence and a goalkeeper keeping them out the other end. Reliable,
trustworthy, dependable. That was Alec in a nutshell, really. And you know, without the saves in the running in the playoffs at Wembley, we wouldn't have been promoted. So we're always grateful, and he knows that.
Tommy's alluded to before that camaraderie and the team that you had at that point was incredibly special. Was that one of the greatest teams that you played with in respect to the dressing room?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. I think obviously success breeds that kind of camaraderie, but he's right. You know, again, I think we all put it back down to Graham really, getting the right characters in the dressing room, along with obviously what you can do on the pitch, but it had to blend well, and everybody got on well with each other. It was obviously competitive in training. Everybody was fighting for the shirt, but ultimately everybody was pulling the same way.
Obviously, player of the season in that. In the season, of course, when coming up from the into the first division as well for you. 2 player of the season awards for you. Tommy got 2 as well. So there's not going to get too competitive in here today, but that's obviously a tremendous honour as well, isn't it? When the fans appreciate what you've done for a club.
Yeah, I think obviously, yeah. I mean, we were both fortunate that we were popular with the fans. You know, I've had it a little bit the other way at times. You know, at Sunderland, I had to fight my way to sort of win them over, but everything seemed to sort of fall into place here, and obviously Tommy was fantastic. They loved him, you know, with his goals. You know, again, he gave such a great effort every game, and that's what supporters ultimately want. It's 100% every week, and that's what you got with Tommy. And obviously, he popped up with some amazing goals as well. So yeah, it was a fabulous dressing room to be in, and you know, the fact that we had the success, you know, really was, you know, put the icing on the cake, really.
Tommy's some great saves.
This showreel makes you look like a world beater.
I know.
Absolutely stunning. Both hands. That's heavy trophy as well, by the way.
No, look with my outfield shirt on then. I was never really that comfortable about that afternoon or that evening, but it all worked out okay in the end, and Palm's got his Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah, I know that we were talking about the other week, weren't we? They're playing every single position, and that's how it all started off to get him that.
That's right.
Get him that
home game against Bournemouth, yeah, I had to play as centre half to start with for the first 10 seconds.
How did that conversation go when
really
Gaffer
well.
asked you for that, to say that?
He didn't really ask me, he told me. It's fair to say, yeah. But I was like, well, you know, but Jono was you know, he got a good he could ping it, so, you know, he knocked it straight out of play, and then we changed shirts. So it was, you know, I think the only danger was if Jono had sort of kicked the floor and the ball stayed in play and someone come running at me, but thankfully Jono smashed it into touch, so it all went well.
Of course, part of that little show reel we saw there was the moment of lifting the trophy at Wembley. Tomorrow, special anniversary because it's the anniversary of the semi-final. And of course, we know how that one played out, extra time and penalties. So let's take a trip down the memory lane for both of you and let's take a look back at those penalties from that semi-final.
And it's in just. He saved it! Oh, the look says it all, doesn't it? It's a slow, casual run-up. Just tries to side-foot it. And Chamberlain, brilliant. He's been brilliant all night, guesses the right way. And unlike Poole, his hand is strong enough. Great save. The goalkeeper, who's been a hero all night, has given them a breakthrough. And Kevin Poole, who almost got to Peter Kennedy's first kick, now faces Steve Palmer. Oh, it's wide! Well, Palmer's played like a hero. He just goes for power here. Steve Palmer goes to blast the back of the ball. And unbelievably, St Andrews erupts, drags it wide of Poole's right-hand post. Oh, heartbreaking for Steve Palmer. Can get themselves back on a level footing here, Martin Granger. One of his 4 goals this season was a penalty, and he gets this one in. A moment for the Watford midfielder to keep his cool. And it's in off the underside of the bar. Chamberlain having made 1 save in the shootout already. No stopping that one. Little punch in the air from Gary Roeder. Darren Baisley to try and put Watford's noses in front. Scores. Tell you what, little smile. It's a big, big moment this for Lee Bradbury. And he scores. Mission etched on his face. But he scores. Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That was a pressure kick, no doubt. Drives it right in the middle. If Poole stays there, he's got a chance. And Trevor Francis knows it, but has entrusted Hughes with this vital, vital kick. And he keeps his cool magnificently. Fantastic. It's Robert Page. And it's in. Tell you what, I think this has just took a little bit of paint off the underside of the bar as well. Oh, just for a minute it was rising. That probably just clips the underside of the bar, right-footed. Oh! And a massive burden weighing on his shoulders now. Oh, this is getting unbearable. Forward comes Alan Smart to take the next kick. He endured the agonies of being substituted at Wembley through injury for Carlisle in the Auto Windscreen Shield final. He could take Watford a step closer if he scores, and he does. Can Poole keep Birmingham in the hunt? Yes, he can! Oh, what a strike this is! Oh. It's Alon Hassane. And he scores. The disappointment falls on Holland, and it's Watford who are going to Wembley to play Bolton in the First Division playoff final.
Well, some incredible memories, and these two have been chatting away all the way through that, reminiscing on that one. Alec, first of all, for you, we've seen a few penalty shootouts this week in finals, as it's that time of year. For you going into that, did you have... Obviously, nowadays they have water bottles with the names of whether they're going left or right, but did you have a method to penalty shootouts for you?
No, I just had... Kenny told me literally just before the shootout, that he thought that Paul Furlong would go to my right, open up with his left foot, which he obviously did. So that was a great help. And the rest really was like, get on with it and do all the best sort of thing. It was just instinct. And, you know, you can see I dived the wrong way most of the time. I was pretty good at that.
Make your mind up and go with it, right?
Go with it. But yeah, eventually I got one right. But it was a poor penalty, let's be fair, with Chris Holland. He looked nervous, and I think that all the credit for the penalties should go to these lads for the way that they took theirs. I thought it was absolutely magnificent the way that they stuck to their task. Even Palms, he missed his, but he tried to do what we practiced so much. And again, down to the preparation that Graham Taylor gave us.
Tommy, for you, absolutely drilled your penalty, by the way, quality one. But that's the only impact you can make in that shootout. You take yours, you score. The rest of the time, you're helpless on the halfway line. What's going through your mind watching that? Could you watch it? We saw, I think it was Milner, wasn't it, the weekend, just looked the other way. You couldn't even watch it. After
I'd taken mine and scored mine, I could watch and see what was happening. I was just purely the most nervous I've ever been in my life. And
I can understand that, though.
Bordering on terrified.
Yeah.
Because of the atmosphere, the state of the game, the way we'd hung on from really early, because they'd put us under ridiculous pressure. And, the back four and Al had kept us in the game. We never had any chances, I don't think, at St Andrews. So we were clinging on for penalties, but that preparation helped us so much. And I know, obviously, going to Birmingham later, they hardly practiced penalties, and we practiced walking from the centre circle. Because as a taker, you don't have to do that. As a taker, that's the worst bit, because that's where your own mind starts playing games on you. Do I change my mind? Do I do what I've practiced? And we actually, with Alec and Chris Day, we practiced for a good week. Yeah. Good week before that, if not longer, walking after every training session from the centre circle. And I hit that penalty right straight through the goalkeeper's eyes. If he moves, it goes in. If he doesn't, I'm in a whole world of pain.
or it takes him with it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I struck it pretty well.
Yeah, no, it was a great strike.
But even he marked out the pitch. We trained and we marked out the pitch the same size as Wembley, so everything was done meticulously, which is fantastic. When you're thinking it's good 20 odd years ago now. Yeah. He was ahead of his time.
Incredible. Tommy, we've spoken before about that final and how special it was for you, Alec, to go to Wembley and win. That's special, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been lucky to be to Wembley with various sides, but I'd never played. I'd always been on the bench. So I'd had the Charity Shield with Everton, I went to the Mercantile Credit with Everton, and then I was also involved with Luton in the League Cup final. But this was finally my chance to play. So obviously you look back and they are special memories. Watching that video, you get goosebumps looking back, because it's almost like an out-of-body experience now. Now we've been retired a long time, but it's lovely to look back and think, actually, we did achieve something. Yeah, no, it was an incredible achievement. And Tommy, I know we've alluded to before, but just one of those days that the fans will never forget, you'll never forget, and just personally to lift a trophy, walking up those steps and to lift that trophy is just incredible.
Well, about 12 hours after that, I remember being in reception of Sopwell House, ordering bacon and sausage sandwiches for me and him, because we were starving. Yeah. But we had a great night.
Yeah, we had a great night. It was wonderful. I remember having a bath in the morning, a couple of hours after these platter of sandwiches of sausage and bacon came out, and obviously I was probably still a little bit drunk, it's fair to say.
Do you reckon?
But I was doing an interview with Three Counties Radio, and I told them I was in the bath, and they wouldn't believe me, so I put the phone to splash the water. I think it was Colin Doyle, or it was Davy Croft, it might have been at the time. I can't remember. Davy Croft does the Formula One. It was one of those two guys that I spoke to. So that was another great memory from the day after. And obviously all the relief, the season's over, we were, and obviously we'd got the open top bus to look forward to as well, which was another great occasion,
brilliant.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. How special was that on the open top bus tours? Because obviously it's something that, when Watford win things, they still keep that tradition going. We've seen those in recent years as well.
Well, it was very similar tonight. It was red hot, a lovely warm night. And obviously the crowds came out in their thousands. It was just a sea, and obviously with the colours of the club, it just looked incredible, didn't it?
With the fact that we'd done it 2 years on the trot, as well. Yeah. And you just think, the first time we did it, I thought, this is unbelievable. The second time around, it was like Watford had doubled in size.
Wow.
It was, honestly, the numbers were ridiculous. I remember us going through a quiet bit, and there was a scattering of supporters at the side of the road, and we're thinking, it's not what I expected. And then we got round into the town and it was just an unbelievable sight. People climbing lampposts, not that I condone that, but climbing lampposts to throw scarves up on the bus. It was incredible.
It was before health and safety came in, I think.
Yeah, there was zero health and safety.
Great memories.
Absolutely, yeah.
As I've said already, we've got 4 Player of the Season awards between you two. And someone else who picked up a Player of the Season award at the weekend was Hassane Kamara. And let's hear from him now.
On a vu votre tweet où avec une photo de vous, vous expliquez être dégoûté par cette relégation. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous expliquer un peu votre sentiment, comment vous vous sentez, quel est votre état d'esprit désormais maintenant que vous êtes relégué?
On est des joueurs de haut niveau, on est là pour performer, pour avoir des résultats. Et descendre dans la catégorie inférieure, c'est forcément embêtant et c'est problématique. Donc ce qui fait que j'ai posté cette photo-là avec cette publication, avec cette légende.
J'ai regardé un peu les commentaires sous ce post sur Twitter. Et beaucoup des fans de Watford disent que vous êtes le meilleur joueur de Watford cette saison. Est-ce que vous avez ce sentiment aussi que vos performances ont été au niveau? D'un point de vue personnel, vous n'avez rien à vous reprocher?
Non, rien à me reprocher, c'est un grand mot parce qu'on encaisse beaucoup de buts et je suis parfois fautif sur certaines actions. Donc je sais que j'ai eu des belles performances, mais je suis avec le collectif et parfois j'ai failli, j'ai pas toujours été bon et même quand tu es bon et que tu perds, tu es content mais tu n'es pas content parce que tu as perdu. Donc voilà, c'est comme je vous ai dit au début, c'est contrasté.
Vous avez déjà connu on va dire des périodes en 2e division avec le Stade de Reims notamment où vous êtes allé chercher cette promotion en Ligue 1. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose qui peut servir aussi, cette expérience de se battre pour remonter en 1re division?
Moi je pense que c'est comme je l'ai dit, j'étais dégoûté qu'on descende, mais parfois descendre ça permet de restructurer un club, restabiliser un club, revoir ses fautes et permettre de remonter en étant plus solide. C'est ce qui s'est passé avec le Stade de Reims, on était descendu, on n'était pas monté l'année qui suit. Et l'année d'après, on est remonté, ça a permis au club de grandir parce qu'après, on avait fini 8e et 6e. Donc ça peut être bénéfique si on apprend de ses erreurs. Et je pense que oui, ça reste une expérience à apprendre qui peut m'aider pour moi et pour le club, forcément.
There we go, pictures there of Hassane Kamara receiving his award at the weekend. Moussa Sissoko presenting that. Tommy, incredibly honest player with his work rate. He's come in since January, of course, and honest with his thoughts and views there as well. You've been impressed with him, what you've seen for this second half of the season?
I have. I mean, he's been at the club for such a short time. To get that award is huge for him. And I can fully understand why he's been given that award. I think Kamara and Sissoko have been the epitome of what you'd expect from a Watford player. There'll be other players that haven't reached those heights this season, hence probably too many of them, and that's why we've been relegated. But certainly those two in particular, I have to mention Sissoko. I think he's been a brilliant captain and player and leader, but Kamara's come in, such a short time. Like I say, I think he's been great.
Yeah, he certainly has, and obviously that award was well received in the stadium at the weekend. And someone else who was received incredibly well was the new head coach, Rob Edwards, as well. We spoke about him on the show last week, but a very warm reception for him on match day. Yeah,
nice for him to get a taste of Vicarage Road. Probably not in the circumstances that he would like. There wasn't so many. It wasn't a full house. There wasn't so many in the stadium. But I think the sooner he gets a feel for the club, you can see he's out there with his coach and just in the surroundings. He managed to dodge the sprinklers, which is always a positive for anybody walking on the pitch. Yeah. But I think it's nice for the supporters to see him.
Yeah, incredible. And obviously that interaction with the supporters is incredibly important because he presented some awards as well, didn't he? I think it was the Supporter of the Season award that he presented as well. Obviously, Alec, when new manager coming in, and obviously as a player coming into a club, having the fans on your side helps massively. Oh, without a doubt. And I think because he's a young manager and he's come from a lower league club, but people can see that he's got a good track record. He's obviously got a method of the way he works. He's been allowed to bring his assistant in with him. So we just hope
as all supporters of Watford, that he's given time to actually build a side. I'm sure there's lots going on behind the scenes now to try and get the recruitment right, ready for next season, because there's no doubt there'll be a lot of trading, I'm sure, done here.
Of course, Tommy comes off the back of winning a title as well. We can see some of his career stats of what he's achieved so far. He's just going to want to get to work now, isn't he? Just the sooner we can get on that training ground for the first day, the better.
Yeah, having known him for quite some time, he's hungry for success. He's achieved his first part of that job by getting not just promoted but champions with Forest Green Rovers. Did a fabulous job like we talked about last week, but he knows this is a great job. He knows it's a great job, and he'll be very, very hungry to get off to a good start. And I think it is a positive that he can have some sort of assistance with the pre-season, because we know pre-season's probably planned already. The club have already done that, but there might be aspects of it he wants to change very slightly, and I think that's a big positive, the fact that it's done early and we know what we're doing.
Yeah, massively. So we're looking forward to next season already, and Rob getting underway with his job as head coach. Right, of course, next season with us before we know it. And if you haven't got your season ticket sorted yet, there's still a chance to do that. Ask the family if you add a family member to your existing season ticket group, in person or telephone only. You can do that between the 16th and 22nd of May. And of course, towards the end of the season, there's always a chance to pick yourself up a bargain to go in-store or online at shop.watfordfc.com. You can currently get this season's shirt at adult 25, junior of £20. Now, throughout the season this year, we have been getting our ball signed by all of our guests. Alex added his signature to this already, and we've also having this shirt signed as well by some of our great guests that we've had on. You would have seen the competition on social media running this week, and the good news is we have a winner. So time to announce the lucky winner of the shirt and signed ball, signed by the guests here on Inside The Hive, and the winner is John Henry. So John, a massive congratulations to you. We're going to get this one sent out to you. You've got the ball and the shirt coming your way, and thank you very much for getting involved in that, and everyone, of course, who got involved with the competition. Okay, a little bit earlier on, we caught up with Holly Roeder, Glenn Roeder's daughter. There's going to be an incredible event to remember Glenn coming up at the race day in the next few months or so, and here is a little bit about it. Holly, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, let's just get some memories from you, of course, of your dad and, of course, his time here at Watford as well.
Yeah, well, firstly, thank you for having me on. It's lovely to see Tommy. It's a real trip down memory lane for me, going back to when I was probably about, I don't know, 10 or 11. So have really fond memories of Dad at Watford. As a family, we the wonderful time him playing there and them managing. So lots of fond memories.
Yeah, Tommy, I know you've got a lot of memories as well, haven't you?
Yeah, obviously, Holly knows we've been emailing over the last couple of weeks, haven't we? So yeah, I've explained to Holly. I think you already knew though what I thought of your dad and how he helped me, and I wouldn't be sat in this chair, let alone anything else related to Watford, without your dad. So eternally grateful to him and the family.
It's incredible when you hear the fans talk about Glenn as well, isn't it? Incredibly well respected and well loved, and obviously it's just such a shame that he's still not here with us, but keeping the memory alive. Talk to us about this amazing event that you're going to be hosting this year.
Yeah, so we have quite a big task on our hands. We decided over a year ago to put this event on, really born out the fact that sadly Dad passed away during a lockdown. We had just 30 of us at the church, which I found really sad, and I know my mum and my brothers, I think, a normal funeral, you have a lot more around you, which is very comforting, and you can share lots of memories on the day. So we were asked whether we would do a memorial for him, which would have been lovely, but actually I felt that doing an event that highlights the work of the Brain Tumour charity felt more fitting. It felt like we're doing something much more positive out of something that was, obviously a very negative thing, losing Dad. So I work in horse racing, and Dad absolutely loved his racing outside football. Football was his first passion, but horse racing came a close second, and that's why I do what I do as a day job, and have lots of contacts. So decided to put on a really nice day that he would have adored to be at, and raise some money and awareness for the charity to help others.
Incredible. We can look at the details on the screen right now then of the event and all the details. So it's the Glen Roeder Race Day, 23rd of July at the Newmarket Race Course as well. So well worth getting involved with that. If people want to get involved, get tickets, what do they need to do, Holly?
Okay, so the event itself is 360 people at this, the hospitality facility we have at the racetrack. We're very close to being sold out, which is fantastic. So we have 36 tables. We've got about 3 left, tables of 10. And you can book that online. We've designed our own website, theglenroederraceday.com. And actually, that's just a really nice, if anyone wants to go and have a look at the website, I've put a lot of work into it, and you might find it interesting just to have a read and some stuff about Dad, and obviously our social media handles, we've got a lot of those, the Glen Roeder Race Day, whether that's Twitter or Instagram and Facebook, loads of information on there. But essentially, book through the website, or you can just attend the day at Newmarket and book through the Newmarket website, the Newmarket Race Course website. And actually, they've been really kind. They've been amazing, and they've put a box. When you book your tickets, you can make a little donation to the charity.
Incredible. And I know you're doing lots of fundraising as well. And Tommy's got a very special prize which we're going to be giving away. We've talked about it on the show before, Tommy, but you've got it here with you again. So explain it to those that haven't heard about this one already.
So as you know, Collie, this is my first ever Watford shirt from the season when I was a loan player. So I took this home after the Crystal Palace away last game of the season with my fingers crossed that I'd get to come back and your dad had finally sought out a package for me. And he did. He was honest and true to his word. And by the time I kicked another ball, I was a fully fledged Watford player. So this is my last loan shirt. And hopefully the Watford supporters will think that this is a relative part of history and donate the money to a fabulous cause. And I can only repeat what Michael said. I think you're doing a great job. You really are. So I'll do this, and to whoever gets it, I'll personally sign it and put their name on it. So hopefully we'll raise a few quid for the Brain Tumour Society.
That's incredible. A great bit of memorabilia as well. If you are a Watford fan, it's got the Football League badges on the arm and everything. It's a proper special shirt. So get involved with that.
Turn it round. It's got my number 11. I couldn't get number 9 because Paul Furlong was in the team, and I can't really argue with that. But it's got the badges on the sleeve as well. So it's
incredible.
Bona fide original.
An incredible gesture from you, Tommy, to donate that to such a fantastic cause as well. Holly, we wish you all the best for it. We hope you have an amazing weather, lots of great memories shared on the day as well. And hopefully lots of people watching this show are going to book some tickets and come and support it.
Fantastic. And also just to say very quickly that in order to try and get that shirt, our auction will be online essentially through the website that I just said, theglenroederraceday.com. There'll be a platform on the day that takes you to the auction online, and anyone, anywhere in the world between those set times that we release, you can bid away. You don't have to be in the room to try and get that. So really, anyone on the day, please log on to the website and try and get it.
Incredible. I'm sure they will. Holly, thank you so much. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Holly.
Well, it's going to be an incredible day, so make sure you can support it if you can. Saturday, July the 23rd, the Glen Roeder Race Day at the July Racecourse in Newmarket. theglenroederraceday.com is the website. Time now then for Tommy's favourite part of the show. Tommy, the nightmare is nearly over for you this year of Ask Tommy. Effectively what's going to happen here, Alec, is I'm going to ask Tommy 4 questions which are quite difficult, and a little bit later on in the show I'm going to ask you 4 questions that are relatively easy.
Oh, good man.
So pretty much it's geared towards the guest, but Tommy has had some success in recent weeks. 1-2 I think out of the last 3 weeks. So
I did. You know that because I reminded you of it. 2 out of 3, and I want to finish on a good one. So
Okay,
you know what I'm like.
I know you're competitive.
I'm a little bit competitive.
Okay, question 1. We always start with a golf question for Tommy.
Okay.
The Royal St George Golf Club is based in which English town that also shares its name with a popular lunchtime food?
Plowman's.
Sandwich.
Correct. Was Plowman's your first answer, or are you being funny? Or were you going to go sandwich?
I was going to go sandwich. I knew that answer.
And then Alec looks like he's helped you out there.
Yeah, well, that's not the first time. Not the first time, Michael. I'm going sandwich.
You're going to go sandwich?
Yeah.
Because it's the last show of the season, I'm going to let you have it.
Thank you.
1 point. Question number 2. Where did Alec start his career as a trainee?
Colchester.
Ipswich Town.
Correct. Ipswich. 1 point only
Almost.
for you so far, Tommy. Which 2 same city clubs has Alec signed for? 2 clubs in the same city that Alec has signed for both. Can you name me the 2 sides?
Everton, Liverpool.
Correct. 2 points on the board. Tonight's guest won the Football League Division 1 title with Sunderland before joining Watford. But can you tell me the season?
94-95.
95-96.
95-96, 1 year out.
1 year out, unluckily.
2 out of 4, Tommy.
So close.
50% right.
You were
There still
close.
might be a chance.
Yeah, he was in the ballpark with all of them.
Close. He was close, but not close enough.
Mm.
Good effort. 2 points on the board. We'll see how you get on a bit later in the show,
Okay.
Alec. But it's time for the important questions now. They're the ones that you've sent in. Thank you so much to you that have got involved with that. First question comes from Jody. Were you able to do any research on penalty takers during your playing days? Of course, you mentioned you got a bit of advice on the bench, but did you kind of get any?
Not as much, no. I think obviously the later I got in my career, the more TV was showing, so there was getting a little bit. So probably more when I went into being a player coach, we were able to help the goalkeepers out. But in my time, probably not so much. No, not really. There wasn't, the statistics that are available now. Obviously all the TV companies have statistics coming out of their heads, don't they? So so no, it wasn't quite as in depth as you would have liked, probably.
I guess for you, Tommy, from a penalty perspective, it's advantage you, isn't it, really? You're in charge of where that ball's going. And did you kind of pick your spot and you had a regular spot to go to, or would you change it on a game-by-game basis?
No, I had a favourite spot. I think everybody has a favourite penalty. I took one against Alex, actually, when I'd gone to Birmingham. And you went the other way for that one as well, which I'm eternally grateful because it wasn't in the corner.
I'm still waiting for the point for that, yeah.
You change them for occasions. I've taken 2 penalties in a game and always thought go to the same place because the goalkeeper might think I'm going to go somewhere different. And I've been successful with that on a couple of occasions. And also it depends what's happened. Sometimes you get a run of, if you take a penalty last week, you don't really want to put it in the same place. But everything's a mind game with a penalty in which the goalkeeper can't lose. Yeah. I always thought that as an outfield player. So it's incredibly difficult. And the more mind games you play and you start playing them with yourself, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, it certainly is. Next question comes from Paula. You played with and coached some great goalkeepers during your time at Watford, like Kevin Miller, Ben Foster, Aurelio Gomez. Who was your favourite or best?
Well, obviously I spent a lot of time with Ben as a young man, and helped teach him a little bit. I think he says himself, a little bit of professionalism about himself. And look at him now. He's 39 years old, and he probably looks a lot fitter now than he did back in those days. His body shape has changed completely. So I'm always going to have a special place in my heart with Ben. But working with Almunia and Gomez and people like that was really special as well, because they sort of played and kept goal differently, completely different styles. So it was always interesting to work with those, and for me as a coach, it was great to learn from them as well, because they obviously had their own ideas and training methods that they'd used before that I could pinch a little bit from them as well. So obviously all the lads I thoroughly enjoyed, but those 3 particularly spring to mind.
Nice. Next question comes from Finley. I'm a goalkeeper and would like to improve. What's the best advice you can give me?
practice is always is the key to any sport, isn't it? If you want to excel, so there's the basics, the fundamentals in anything you do, and goalkeeping is obviously a lot about handling. So I would say if you can either just kick a ball against the wall, or if you've got any member of the family that are prepared to kick balls at you, to improve your handling technique, and obviously then moving on to diving techniques. Make sure you're attacking the ball going forwards and not falling backwards. All those fundamental things, really, that's the key to it. It's just repetition, repetition, repetition. A lot of goalkeeping behind the scenes is exactly that, really. It's dressing things up to make it a little bit more interesting, but you're just basically doing the fundamentals day in, day out.
Nice. Final question for the minute comes from Steph. Who is the most underrated goalkeeper currently playing?
Oh, goodness me. Well, obviously I go around scouting now, so I see a lot of different levels of football. It's a really tough question, that. Underrated in the Premier League, are you talking about? I don't think anybody's underrated in the Premier League, are they? When you get down into Championship, I don't know. I'd have to have about a week to think about that one. Get back to me. I'll give it an answer at the end.
We'll come back at the end. We'll get that question put back in the last set of questions as well. Tommy, I'll come back to you on that one as well then. Strikers that you think is underrated at the moment. We'll ask you a bit later, unless you've got one now.
No,
we'll come back to probably later on that one then. No. Right, as we know, Tommy has been taking our 60-second challenge very seriously this year, including his answer for his favourite film, which of course is Love Actually. Our final contender this season, trying to knock Tommy out of the top 10, is Adam Masina.
I am Adam Masina, and this is my 60 seconds challenge.
Netflix or Prime?
Netflix.
Coach or TV when you retire?
TV.
City life or country life?
Country life.
First car you owned?
Say it again?
First car you owned?
I have no idea what is this.
Okay.
Go on.
Home games or away games?
Home games.
Studs or blades?
Studs.
If you could change position, where would you play?
Forward.
Worst teammate to share a room with?
Mark Navarro.
Ice bath or cryo chamber?
Cryo.
Favourite food?
Pizza.
PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
Last minute winner or hat trick?
Last winning.
If you could play a musical instrument, what would it be?
Piano.
Favourite social media channel?
Instagram.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Text message or phone call?
Phone call.
Favourite song?
It's not easy. You are the reason.
Best thing you can cook?
Eggs.
Team you supported as a kid?
It's alright.
17.
It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. This guy is.
If this was an Italian.
Yeah. It's alright.
Well, Tommy kept his place in the top 10, and Megan Chandler was our winner. 28 points. That was an impressive effort on the 60-second challenge by Megan. Maybe better next season. Get you in early doors.
I'd like to think that I'll be more prepared next time.
Okay.
But top 10, and I'll always take a number 9.
Always take a number 9. Okay, those observant of you on the show today will be wondering why the hell we have this in the studio. Well, if you go back towards earlier in the season, we had How Smart the Hornets. Our friends at Stake got some pinatas made. There was one of Tommy, and we thought we'd put it to good use this afternoon. Let's see what happened. Well, here we go then. Final Inside the Hive of the season. We're on the hallowed turf here at Vicarage Road. Tommy, earlier on the season, How Smart the Hornets, you took part in that with our friends at Stake. Now, the final, they had some pinatas made up. They also had one of you made. So we didn't want to let it go to waste, so we've put it inside the goal here at the Vicarage Road. 5 shots each. Whoever hits it the most times is the winner. Do you want to go first or second?
I won the toss, so you go first.
I'm going first. Challenge accepted. Here we go. No pressure.
Hold on. Oh, go on.
Oh, just over. Is this bringing back some memories?
No, because I'm aiming high. Normally I aim low.
You thought mine was high?
I've got to go high.
Round two.
See, I'm still getting caned. Every time I play here, I'm still getting caned. Ooh, see, you've gone too low.
It's a bit too low now.
Shall I do a Michael Kurn run up? I'm going to do a left-footed Michael Kurn. You ready?
Oh! 2 down.
That technique with the like flamingo leg
Works, doesn't it?
Oh, flamingo.
We could be here a while, couldn't we?
I'm going to drill a little 6-iron.
Drill or shank a 6-iron?
Yeah, try to cut across it.
Where's it gone?
See, it's halfway up the yellow. Keep going. Get this film. Keep going. Up and left. Up a bit more.
It's not that high. It wasn't that good of a shot.
No, it's left. It's in the yellow. Keep way.
It's not up there.
Cut across now. It should be there.
It's genuinely not there.
It must have rolled
It's
all
down
the way
here.
over.
You're taking the mick. T-Rex. Floor again.
It's really putting me off. His technique is really putting me off.
Right, down to 5 now.
Fatigue's kicking in now.
Number 5.
Last one.
Then sudden death.
Before sudden death. I just love that noise of the net.
Rustle of the net. It's going to sound even better when your head comes off.
Should we go penalty spot?
Ready? Sudden death.
The tongue's out. Have you? No, it's in the middle. You've got to hit the yellow thing there.
I've been watching your penalty taking videos. A nice little hard and low. There we go. Sudden death.
Read it and weep, Kurn.
Well done, Tommy. Champion. You've won something this season.
Thanks, pal.
All good fun. Winner.
You going to go and tidy up?
Yeah.
Go and tidy up.
Okay, I'll go tidy up now.
That's a forfeit. You've got to go and tidy up.
Okay.
And I'll have some lunch as well afterwards.
Yeah. Tea stirred 3 times left.
Coffee, please.
Coffee. No worries,
Thank you.
Mr. Mooney.
Only one winner there.
Well, a big thank you to our friends at Stake there. That was good fun. I enjoyed that.
Did you?
I did. Now, the irony of this is that I made a little bit of a faux pas before we started. We were having a little bit of a practice and the Pinata was hung in the goal. Now, you can tell I'm not a former professional footballer, but I can strike an all right ball like 1 in 50 attempts. 1 in 50. I don't know where it comes from, Alec, but 1 in 50, boom, it's beautiful. So we're having a little bit of a warm-up. I have pinged the best ball I've hit in a very long time, and I've taken the head off the Pinata, dented the front of it, and then so I then had to do this.
I'm just going to drip down the middle for a little save.
The odds on that, though. I've never struck a ball that good in my life.
It's fixed.
No, it's not. So yeah, apologies to Steve. He wasn't too happy. Yeah, I said to Steve, I'm just going to drill one down the middle. Yeah. Woof. Took his head right off. There we go.
Absolute shambles.
It was. Apologies to.
And it's 1 in 70, by the way.
It was 1 in 70.
It's not 1 in 50. 1 in 70.
Hey, as a non-professional footballer, I'll take 1 in 70 anyway. But no, thank you very much to Steve and Stake and everyone who made that happen. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good bit of fun for half an hour or so on the pitch as well. Talking of goals and being on the pitch, let's now take a look at the nominations for the Women's Goal of the Season.
Last That's not been dealt with at all. Route 1 might even work for Watford here. Oh, what about that for a finish from 5? And the newcomers are up and running with half an hour to play. Game on.
Oh, she's given the ball away. This is Myvald. And still Myvald looks to go herself. Wonderful strike into the top corner. And Watford have got a little bit of hope here.
Spins into the area. Oh, and it is a consolation goal for Watford. The free kick dropped in to the 18-yard box.
Stubbs has nicked in there. Bell's in. Bell, the super sub, has scored her first Watford goal. And Watford are on course for their first win of the season.
Watford coming forward, they're in the Sunderland half. It's Leanne Bell, she goes past the play edge of the box, shoots, takes a wicked deflection and nestles into the bottom corner of the goal.
Beckett it is lining up this free kick. Beckett goes for goal and Beckett finds the bottom corner. 31 minutes on the clock and Watford have taken the lead.
Winning it. Scrapping is Viola. Spots some space here. For Pinata to come forward and in spectacular fashion she pulls the goal back for Watford. Bristol City 2, Watford 1 now.
Pick up some points today for Tugatada. Play from her. She sends it to the back post where Helen Ward is waiting. Watford take the lead. Wonderful finish from the captain.
Well, there we go, the nominees for the women's goal of the season. If you keep an eye on the women's social media channels over the next week, you'll find out when the votes are open and you can cast your ballot. Time now then to add our final player to the Watford Greatest 11. A little bit earlier on, me and Tommy were joined by Gary Porter. Gary, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. Let's just get some of your memories, first of all, of your time here at Watford, because you had a great career here.
Yeah, I did. I obviously spent a long time at the club from 1982 when I signed as an apprentice and eventually left in 1997. So yeah, 15 years at the club, which, you know, thoroughly enjoyed my time and my career there.
How did you see the club change? What was the biggest changes that during your time, Ports, from when you signed to when you left?
Yeah, I think certainly the early part, Tom, as you know, you worked with a guy, he was your manager, both at Aston Villa and at Watford. It was an incredible club. It was just the whole structure of the club, how it was ran, how it was managed from the top. And it was wonderful. Them first 5 years of my career were incredible years. First years Watford had ever been in the top flight. And so just to witness that, be part of it, firstly as a spectator, as an apprentice, and then obviously eventually getting into the team on a regular basis. And then, as we know, for many years it sort of dropped out of the top division. And I think the thing, Tom, is it's that whole thing about being managed and run from the very top. Obviously, in them early years, Elton was the chairman and Graham ran it, and it sort of was never the same after that first spell. Probably then until Graham came back a number of years later, which would have been the time when you were there, and you obviously played a big part in helping the team get back into the top flight then.
Mm. Gary, of course, during that time you played with some incredible players, so I think it's fitting that you get the final choice in our Greatest 11 today. So let's have a look at it and see where we are so far. We've just got one spot left to fill, which is our final striker. Some great names in there as well, and of course some great players have also made their selection for our team as well. So your choice is going to be our final striker. Attribute-wise, what do you look for a good striker?
Score goals. Works hard for the team. I think they're the two big characteristics. You know, work hard for the team and be able to score goals.
Nice. Well, let's talk through your nominations then. We can start off with Paul Furlong as your first nominee.
Yeah, Paul was. He came in. What year did he sign? He signed in. So it would have been Steve Perryman would have signed him, I think. And he came in. He wasn't with us for long. I don't think he was only with us for a couple of years, maybe. But just a really good, hard working, honest centre forward. Again, who was capable of scoring goals and had a great left foot.
He's a great lad, wasn't he? He was. When I was here on loan, played up front with Furs, and you know, it was one of those where I was happy he had the number 9 shirt because he did a lot of the work that I didn't like to do at a young age. But then we've sort of missed him in the next couple of years after Furs left.
Yeah, you two were good. You know, you caused a lot of problems, and I think I might be wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but did he come out of non-league? I know he'd been in Coventry, hadn't he? I had a spell at Coventry, but he'd been in non-league as well. And I think Peter Taylor, might have been Taylor who recommended Steve sign him. And yeah, he just came in, and you know, centre halves, he'd have been an absolute handful for centre halves. And you know, obviously two good seasons he had with us, and he got a really good move to Chelsea.
Yeah, must be. Next up then, Kevin Phillips.
Yeah, super Kev. Unbelievable. Best 10 grand Watford's ever spent. So, and again, the story, I believe, Nigel Callaghan saw him play, you know, ex-legend Nigel Callaghan, and he saw him play, tipped Glenn Roeder, Tom Woolley and Glenn Roeder off about Kev, and they obviously went on and signed him for 10 grand, and he was unbelievable finisher, and again, he had all them attributes. He worked hard for the team, you know. And as midfield players and defenders, your first line of defence is them attackers, them forwards. And he made it hard for defenders, and you know, he was a great finisher, and he was good in the air for somebody his size, you know. Scored a lot of goals, all different kinds of goals, right foot, left foot.
He was so composed, wasn't he, in front of goal? He very rarely got rushed. You see in some of those clips there, Ports, the technique that he has is always there, but it's the fact that he's just so composed in possession of the ball. He was great for me to play with. We didn't play an awful lot as a pairing here before he obviously got his move, and then he went on to thrive after he left Watford, and you know, getting his England caps and the amount of goals he scored at various different clubs in the top flight. I thought he's a top lad, but he was a top player too, wasn't he?
Yeah, great.
I think that's the thing. On all of these players, you know, for Paul Furlong, great lad, you know, still in the game, and Kev obviously managing South Shields now, super Kev. But yeah, like you said, Tommy, you know, the testament to that all is he did brilliant for us, and he then went on and he did even better. And for England, whatever he played 8 or 9 times, absolutely fantastic achievement from somebody who come from Baldock Town.
Incredible achievement. Your next nominee, Mo Johnston.
Yeah, so that was in the very beginning when I was an apprentice. So we signed Mo. Graham sold Luther to AC Milan, and then replaced him with Mo Johnston. And Mo came in and formed a great partnership with George Riley. And again, I mean, he was incredible. I didn't play a lot of games with him, but obviously trained with him a lot because that was in the early part of my career. But again, just there he's there. I mean, he was good in the air. He wasn't the biggest, but he was good in the air. Great finisher, absolute great finisher. And again, you know, what he then went on to achieve after Watford just shows you. You know what I mean? I think Graham bought him for only a couple of $100 grand at the time out of Partick Thistle. You know? So incredible strike, incredible finisher, and you know, he just fit into Watford style as well, you know.
His goal ratio everywhere he went was exceptional, wasn't it? Obviously, I never played with him, but he was my assistant manager when I went out to New York Red Bulls, although they were called Metro Stars then. He was my assistant manager, and he still had the E-ring and still loved the night out. So that's what I know of Mo.
Love that.
Well, that was the thing. He was a great player. He was great on the pitch, but he was unbelievable off the pitch in the nightclubs as well.
Incredible. Some great nominations there. But obviously, there can only be one winner. Put us out of our misery. Who's your final selection for our team in the Greatest 11?
Well, I think everybody would agree with me on this. It's the one man to fill that last position is Luther.
Nice.
So, you know, again, in them early days, he was just incredible player. Just worked so hard for the team, which you had to do under Graham Taylor. You know, and just, I mean, you look at him now against Manchester United. You know, fantastic, and just an absolute. You know, you look at it. Three times he's been at the club. Went away, came back, went away, came back, went away, came back again, and ended up on the coaching staff and everything else. But just, yeah, I mean, I think all the fans would probably agree with me on this one. That Luther thoroughly deserves to be in that 11 for sure. Absolutely incredible.
You look at his stats throughout all of those phases in his career, Ports, and you know, we can all do it once we're finished. We can look at the stats because it doesn't cross your mind while you're playing. But when you look back, certainly at Luther's stats, they're unbelievable on paper. The achievements that he had at the club, and like you say, went on as our coach when we got promoted to the Premier League. You just look at the goals that he scored. It's an incredible amount of goals for the club.
Do you know what he was as well? He was so brave as well. You know, I think all strikers, I think you have to be brave because the type of goals you score, you're going in at people's feet. You having to go in with goalkeepers. You know, I remember one season. I think it was when he fractured his. I mean, it was great for me. He got his skull fractured in a collision with Gary Bailey, Man United, which allowed me then to go and play the following week. We played Liverpool away at Anfield, and it gave me the opportunity to go and play at Anfield the following Friday because he was injured. But he was brave. He was, just, I mean, he terrorised defences, didn't he? Incredible random channels, you know. Yeah. Again, epitomised everything, the way the club had been built with Graham, you know, and the different people he'd had to forge partnerships with, and he did.
Yeah, an absolute legend.
Yeah, just a great striker.
Yeah, an absolute legend. Well, let's put him into the team then. This is it. Our final player in there, Luther Blissett, selected by Gary Porter in there as well. Your name gets to go in that side as well, Gary. What a lineup that is, Tommy.
Yeah, it's a good side, isn't it? It's not. Certainly wouldn't be relegated out of the Premier League, that team, would it? No, there's some top players, and like Port said about most of them, really good blokes. And I think to get when your own teammates over the years select you as in those sorts of teams, and you get those awards, that's when it means the most, because you know your teammates, you're with them an awful lot. People just think it's match days, but it's not. It's 4, 5, 6 days a week. So I think, you're looking at that team, it ain't bad.
Ain't bad at all. Gary, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much as well for picking Luther as our final player.
My pleasure.
Well, great to have Gary with us a little bit earlier on. Well, there we go. That's the final team once again. Alec, let's get your thoughts on it. Some great names in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, obviously Luther with his record appearances and the goals he scored was probably a no-brainer, really. Obviously Troy's been a talisman for the club for a long time. Look at Ben in goal. He's had all these different spells here from different stages of his career, so fully deserved. And obviously nice for me to see Nigel Gibbs there as well. He was a roommate of mine, and what a player he was for us. Robbo, the two fullbacks that I played with, is fantastic. Yeah, so fully deserved. Yeah, they were excellent players, and Gibbo obviously had that unfortunate where he filled in for Robbo at left back in the semi-final, and then Robbo came back in for the final. That was heartbreaking, but he took it like the great pro he is, or was at those days.
Yeah, Massey, some great names there. Massey, thank you to all the players who took the time to pick a player for our team and also pick up the nominations as well. There's some great names who didn't quite make it, including Tommy. He was in the nominations, didn't quite make it, but it would have been tough to squeeze you. Maybe if you played 3 up front, we could have got you in, but we'll maybe look at that another time, change the formation.
Not after my shooting this afternoon. That's it, Philly.
I've said nothing about the quality of your shooting this afternoon. You're the one bringing it up. Right, 2 points for Tommy. Alec, now's your chance to claim victory.
I knew his ones, I don't mind.
We'll see what happens. Like Tommy, you have won the Watford Player of the Season award twice, but can you please tell me the 2 seasons which you won?
Mate.
That's got to be the hardest question you've asked a guest this year, I think.
Really?
Yeah, that's tough.
But normally you back players to know their stats and things like that, though. You normally,
yeah, but that's a difficult one, Player of the Season.
I'm trying to think.
Do you want some options?
So we're 99, I don't know.
Just
Trying to work back.
out.
97, 98.
Correct.
And 2001? Yeah, 2002.
Correct. 1 point on the board.
Oh, it's just that little delay on 2001 there, wasn't it?
Well, to be fair, you got help on the first question, didn't you? Sam, I'm going to say Ploughman's. Right, question number 2. According to Wikipedia, how much did you sign for Watford in the summer of 1996? Was it 40,000, 35,000 or 45,000?
40,000.
Correct. 2 points on the board. Watford's inaugural Premiership season started brightly for one Mr. Tommy Mooney, but he scored his first Premier League goal against who?
Liverpool.
Correct. 3 points on the board.
It's a joke, Alec. You've actually come all the way from home for this, and you asked that sort of question.
Question number 4. Tommy has played for 5 clubs that begin with the letter S. Can you name me 3 of the 5 for a point?
S. I can't even think of one at the minute. This is really embarrassing. It's not Sunderland. No. Stoke. Stoke City.
Is the point. Well done.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Stoke City. I
Yeah.
was buzzing. I've got one.
Essex.
Southend.
Correct. That's 2. One more for the point.
Give me the county.
They're a town. Playing red. Big playoff game tonight.
Swindon. Town. Well done.
Correct. That's 3. Do you want another 2? You've
No, I've got no
point.
chance. I've got no chance. No.
The other ones were?
Oh, no, they're not all beginning with S though, are they? Not all
Yeah,
these.
2 more.
Two more beginning with S.
Scarborough.
Correct.
Good grief.
And you got Stoke, didn't you?
I got Stoke.
Southend, Stoke, Swindon and Scarborough. Come on, you got this one quick earlier on when I
did. I got it earlier on. I can't remember now.
So obviously you're
So that must be a tough question.
Memorable time at Sheffield United for you
Sheffield
then, Tommy.
United, yeah. It was another
There we
loan
go.
signing.
Well, there we go. 4 points to Big Tommy. We always play the tiebreaker.
Okay.
Because Tommy loves the tiebreaker. And as you like...
He doesn't.
He doesn't.
As you've liked your distance questions this season, Tommy, I thought we'd finish with one. So we're going to go on a little road trip. We're going to go from Watford, this very seat, fastest route to Ramsey Town, where you began your career as a junior.
Okay.
We're then going to go all the way to Billingham Synthonia, where Tommy began your career. And then we're going to come back to Watford. The mileage, I'm going to expand it a little bit because Tommy's been playing this one a bit harsh and just by going bang down the middle and higher or lower. So you have between 400 and 550 miles. Tommy's going to give me a number and you get to go higher or lower.
I see.
So between 400 and 550, what are you going to go for, Tommy?
480.
480. Would you like to go higher or lower?
Lower.
It's gone lower than 480. The correct distance is 493. Tommy clawed a point back. 73 miles here to Ramsey Town, then 183 miles on then to Billingham, and then 237 miles back.
I knew that.
Not bad. You did. You won the points, so it's all right.
Thank you.
Right, for the final time, let's finish up with some fan questions. We'll kick off with the first one again. Your most underrated player to kick it off.
Oh, the goalkeeper, yeah, that's right. Well, after racking my brains a little bit, I think obviously the Premier League lads get lots of publicity and there's not many that are underrated, I wouldn't say. But when you drift down the leagues, I've watched a few games at Northampton Town because it's my local club, and there's a lad that played for Walsall and has moved to Northampton now called Liam Roberts. He's about 6'5", left-footed kicker, which kicks it a long way, and he's been a really strong part of what they've done this season at Northampton. Now, unfortunately, They got pipped on the last day for promotion, as maybe people will know or won't know, and then they got done last night in the playoffs. But he's been, I think he's been really strong for them.
Nice. Tommy, did you have an underrated striker you wanted to throw into the mix?
I think when you work in recruitment, it's very naive to give away your secrets and your targets, but Forest Green related, just because of the new manager, Matty Stevens, is a good young player that's got a chance.
Nice. Next question comes from Matt, and it says, which goalkeeper did you look up to when you were younger?
Because I was a local boy near the Peterborough area, I used to go and watch Peterborough United, and there was a guy that obviously down in those days, a guy called Mick Drury, who played, and then Eric Steele, who became probably more well known for his coaching career. He coached Man United for many years and is involved with England even to this day. So Eric Steele and Mike Drury were the people that I sort of watched as a kid.
Next question comes from David. How gutting was it to be injured at the start of the 1999 Premier League season and miss that win at Liverpool when Tommy scored?
Yeah, well, it was a fantastic win, and I was there. I was to witness it. And Chris Day played fantastically well that day as well, and Tommy scored the all-important goal. So a great team performance, but obviously it was very, very disappointing to miss the start of the season. Dislocated my finger in the Isle of Man with a ball that hadn't been pumped up properly. It was even, these sort of things wouldn't happen these days. It's one of those freaky little injuries in shooting at the end of training. So it was an injury that could have been prevented, but life goes on, and I'm pleased that we won the game and got off the mark, as it were.
Nice. Final question comes from Carl. Your favourite ever save for Watford?
Oh, it's got to be the one, the semi-final in extra time, before we went into extra time. Sorry, from centre half. I can't think of his name now. Michael Johnson, Michael Johnson, the header. Yeah, that one, because it meant so much, for all of us, and obviously all the supporters to go take us to extra time, and then everything else that happened. So that was definitely the most important and the most enjoyable save, yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much to everyone who sent a question in, not just today, but throughout the season. Really appreciate you being part of the show. So thank you for that. Alec, thank you so much to you as well for joining us today.
My pleasure, thank you.
Great memories of that playoff
Nice to look back on
well,
it, thank you. Yeah, nice to be here with Tommy as well.
Yeah, great. So, final show of the season. We know it's been a tough year on the pitch, but we've really appreciated having you on the show here with us. We couldn't do it without lots of people. Massive thank you to Adam and Martin behind the scenes who've been pressing the buttons all year, to Steve, who has been collating all your questions and putting loads of content together with the team here at Watford as well. And we can't end the show without saying thank you to Tommy. It's been a pleasure to do the show with you this year. Thank you for being so open, sharing your stories about GT and all your memories of Watford. And I know the fans have appreciated you travelling up and down the country doing the commentary as well. So enjoy your break in the summer, your 6 weeks off. Enjoy your holiday. Was it the Love Island hotel you're going to, were you telling me earlier on?
First Dates Hotel.
First Dates Hotel.
First Dates Hotel.
Close.
In Italy. Couple of weeks, yeah, we'll be all right. Close enough.
Enjoy. We'll see you next season. Massive thank you, as always. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.